So we're going to talk about work-life balance. I'm Kate, I'm a personal trainer, and this whole question of the work-life balance is one that I think a lot of us are always trying to work out. So where is the balance? How do you find that? It's a really tricky thing. We live in a world now, in a society, that there's so many pressures. You need to pay your rent, or you need to pay your mortgage. You might have children that you're worrying about their schooling, their education, their free time. You've got your own concerns. You need to buy basic things like food. And then it's trying to work out whether you can fit a holiday in around all of that and whether you can catch up with your friends. So the first one, time for yourself. This is so important. You spend so much of your time giving out energy to other people, whether that's in your work environment, whether it's with your family, your friends. When do you get that time to yourself to just do something for yourself, whether it's to read a book or to have a bath or to go to a yoga class or to go for a walk, or maybe it's to go out for a nice meal, whatever it is? Do you do that for yourself? Ask yourself that. Do you do that for yourself? It's so important to take that time where you can just refresh, where you can take that time to charge your batteries, to take some quiet time. There is so much stimulation around us now with our phones, with social media, with the TV, with everything like that, that we don't sometimes get that time to just be. So give yourself permission to do something for yourself. That's another thing that we don't always do. You don't give yourself that permission to say, I'm going to spend this hour doing what I want to do. And sometimes, of course, it's difficult if you have family, if you have children, if you've got all these other things that you need to worry about, if you're stressing about things like money, if you're stressing about your diet or your food or your nutrition. These things can lead to other knock-on effects. If you're stressing, it might be that you're starting to then also comfort eat. It might be that you're reaching for more alcohol than what you would do normally. It might be that you're not enjoying the time that you have with your family because you're stressing so much about it. So take that time to shut off from the world or whatever it is, to just be with yourself, to be comfortable with doing that, and to give yourself permission to do something that you really want to do. So, mindfulness. This leads on as well from finding those moments for yourself. Mindfulness is a really interesting subject. It's something that's really growing currently in our society now, is this awareness that being mindful is actually a really important thing to do for our mental health. So there are some great mindfulness apps out there. There's one called Headspace, which does a free one. Spotify, if you have Spotify, also has free ones you can listen to. And what we find at the moment now is our brains are so overwhelmed by everything that goes out there in the world that it doesn't have that time to just decompress. And mindfulness helps us to kind of not detach from ourselves, but to be able to acknowledge the things that happen to us, the emotions that come out of us. And it allows us to be mindful of those emotions, whilst also not being consumed by them, by not letting these things of stress or anxiety or whatever it is, grief, if you've had something really difficult happen in your life, these things carry in our organs, they carry in your body, and they can lead to other knock-on health effects. So give it a go. Headspace does a 10-day free kind of trial, and 5 minutes every morning as soon as you get up, just get that app on or find something on Spotify, whatever it is, YouTube. The internet has so many different things out there now that make this a much easier time for us to process stuff and explore other avenues. Give it a go and just see whether it can bring you a sense of calm, of chill, of awareness, but also of an ability to cope in those situations that can cause us so much stress. Okay, priorities. What are your priorities in life? Is it to buy a house? Is it to have fun? Is it to spend time with your family? Whatever it is, it's so important that you're aware of these things, because sometimes if you're spending so much energy, like we talked about before, helping other people or looking after other people, if you're not prioritizing yourself as well, if you're not working out what's important to you, what happens 20 years down the line if you haven't fully explored all these options and you feel like you've missed out? So what is important to you? What makes you tick? What makes you happy? What doesn't make you happy? Find out what these things are. Think about them. Take a day where you maybe, or if you can't have a day, take 10 minutes where you can just have a think about what's important to you and jot it down. Make sure that you're finding time to go out with your friends to socialize. But conversely, don't overcommit yourself. Don't feel like you have to say yes to everything. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say, oh, actually, I'm busy that day, because you're spending time for yourself. Find that balance. If we're getting more stressed, you have increased levels of cortisol in your body, which have completely detrimental effects on the rest of your function, of your body's functions. And you might also be reaching, like we said before, for foods or for drinks that you wouldn't normally do, that actually, again, have that detrimental effect on you. So think about it. What are your priorities? What makes you happy? What doesn't make you happy? The things that don't make you happy, can you maybe cut them out a little bit? Spend time really taking that moment to appreciate your life, to think, is it that important, or do I need a holiday? Give yourself that permission to have fun in your life. It's finding that healthy balance between work and life.